So I had to describe Ashburn in a sentence or two. I would say it was vibrant, living, alive, and dynamic.
Thousands of people that have come in and out of these doors. It was going on before I started coming here. It was going on when I lived away from here, and it's still going on now.
There was always a passion both for teaching and for evangelism.
Commitment to the scriptures, the commitment to loving and caring about people in their community, one with another.
Faithful to the scriptures, faithful to our God, faithful servants, just those that I've seen and those that I've known, and just faithfulness throughout the years I know preceding me and the years that I've been here. And it's been a wonderful place to be.
God called me to preach when I was just a youngster. I preached my first sermon when I was 13 years old. And it was to a youth group at a congregational church in my hometown, St. Paul, Minnesota. And at that time, I would go anywhere and do anything for the Lord. And what fired me up was a brother who was the son of missionaries. He had been in China, and he came to Moody and presented the challenge of church planting. And that caught my heart. I was set to go to Chicago. I was somewhat familiar with the Southwest side, and it was the growing side at the time. We started in a schoolhouse, the Owen School, just a couple blocks west of Kedzie and 83rd. The rent was $25 a month, and there were a few houses then. But at that time, you could stand where the Ashburn Baptist building in Chicago now is and look west and see nothing. There were no houses. Really, the community had yet to be built up. There was absolutely nothing easy. Everything was hard scrabble and came from a maximum of human effort and a superabundance of pouring out of the Spirit of God and His leadership in all of this. I guess I was overly ambitious and never doubted that things would not work out somehow, and they always did.
There were several times, several prayers that God specifically answered.
Well, there are many prayers that during that period of time, and I think that the church would be an influence on the Southwest side was the prayer, and I think that was true.
So the prayer that God answered that really amazes me today really was when we relaunched Ashburn.Chicago. It was during COVID. We would meet and we'd pray, and we saw people coming, but really the prayer was like, we want to reach this community. Like, we're here at Ashburn.Chicago for a reason, and it's great that we're pulling people in from all over the place, but I wanted to see people from this community. And man, I look around now, and God answered that in ways that I really couldn't have even imagined. I look at the people and neighbors inviting neighbors, and really that's the prayer that I got to see unfold before my eyes. When I first started coming, I was in middle school, and there was a bus ministry. And so it was so far-reaching. They'd pick up different families. They'd visit them on Saturday and invite them to come. And a lot of parents would send their kids because it gave them a Sunday morning off, and they had activities for the kids. And I met my friend here, and She and her younger brother would come here on the bus ministry, and the bus captains would visit her, and she came to know the Lord, and I came to know her. And, that was, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade. And she's still my best friend now. And we share Christ with each other. And she's my forever friend, and her family's life was forever changed from Ashburn.
There are several people that I think of whose lives were changed here, but one in particular comes to mind, Mary Jansen. So one day the phone rings and she said to me, I'm getting married in 2 weeks. And I said, congratulations. She said, but there's a problem. He's not saved. You got to come over and save him. I said, Mary, I don't save anybody, but I'm glad to talk to him. We sat down at the kitchen table, and Bob, who's her husband now, went through the whole gospel, and I asked him, is there anything that would keep you from saying yes to Christ today and receiving him? And he said, Pastor Sam, you just met me. You don't know me. I'm a bad guy. I'm a sinner. I mean, really. And he was emotional. He was really, he got it. And what a thrill for me, in the name of Christ, to say, Bob, sinners are the only kind he takes. And he came to Christ that day. It was just awesome.
Yeah, when I think about the lives that have been changed at Ashburn, really what comes to mind is my family. God's word was opened up, and it really changed the lives of my family and myself.
People come and go. They pass away, and they fall away, and they move away. So there's a constant change of people. And but the Lord never changes. He's always there. And it's been just marvelous to see what God has done.
I think the fact that we're here 75 years later is not a tribute to Ashburn. It's a tribute to our great God.
If we abide not, he is faithful.
100% faithful. And I see people have joy in their lives, and they have hope.
I think it just shows the greatness, the majesty of God, that God's working.
And Chicago, amazingly, is still a mission field.
I've been coming to Ashburn Baptist Church now for over 50 years. I've been in the neighborhood for over 60 years. But yet there's so many people to be reached for the Lord.
An individual church member has to understand that his presence and his prayers and his work for the Lord is important. And it's not, God's not going to do it all through somebody else always. I'm waiting for somebody else to come and be mightily used of the Lord. Why not you?
I think the best is ahead, when people, as the word says, humble themselves and call on the Lord.
I think we look into God's word. We know his plan is to reach people. I believe he's working in our community, and he's working in our families, and he's working in our places of business and our schools, and I think he wants to work in and through his people. I believe that he is really truly reviving this area, and I think we we see it in the lives that he's changing. And I think God's going to continue to change lives, and he's going to continue to bring people to him, and he's going to continue to grant us the privilege to serve him. And many are going to be reached, and many are going to be humbled before him in this place.
His people being faithful to him in prayer, in witnessing, in giving, in having faith that there are no limits with God.
God still has things coming. And I think as we look forward to the future, that we just want to remember to keep the main thing the main thing. And Jesus is the main thing.